Hello. It's me. I've been wondering if, after all this time, you would like to meet. Is it me you're looking for? Because I wonder where you are. Hi. Trying to think of all the songs that I know that and the lyrics to the words. So, if you guys are hashtag replay game, please check the description box so that you can see when I actually get started talking about 90 Day Fiancé the other way, episode 8, season 4. I completely missed that I didn't go live last week. I mean, your girl thought she was right on track. I was like, oh yeah, gotta go live. Like I did last week. And then while I'm creating the thumbnails are like, oh, episode 6. I was like, episode 6? No, we're on episode 8. So that means last week I did episode 7. Girl looked back. Didn't do it. Did not do it. And so for that, I apologize. Hi, Anissa or Anissa. Hi, Amaya. Hi, Tracy. Good morning. Hi, Latanya. Good morning. You know what song I have in my head? This is what I need. And a band is standing next to me. How to meet a man. This is what I need. You know, I feel like a lot of these songs are so conditioning. They're just like, they are conditioning women to feel like they have to be some other version of themselves to please a man. Or, like, I don't know. Not or, just that's the end of the sentence, period. Good morning, Sean. Hi, Sydney. Hi, Janelyn. Hi, I haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, dress your age. Hi, Mickey. I realized that I didn't go live last week, and I'm sleepy. I am sleepy, but I have a cup of coffee. Oh, you can't even see the cuteness. Hold on. It's Tabitha Brown. It's part of the Target collection. I'm like, what if I drop it? You know what I'm saying? Just like precariously holding it. Mom of 8, hello. Living Queen, hello. Miss T, hello. Sean Christina, did I say hello? This tastes weird. You know, it's because I usually have it sweeter. I kind of want to go put more sweetener in it. I have time. Let's put this over here so that I can make a seamless transition. Wear your hair just for him. Do the things he wants you to do. Old song. Yeah, it's just like these songs really did have us thinking that. I was on a dating app today and this man was like, I need a woman to be kind. Now, I know what kind means. To me, kind means that you give people grace. And I have put that on my profile times before. So it's not like I was necessarily judging him, but immediately I'm like, what do you mean? You know? And I think that's just a reaction of feeling like it's like stay sweet. It's like that idea of like women needing to stay sweet and docile and amenable, you know, just like open to whatever suggestion her man would like. And it's always the heteronormative relationship, cisgendered ridiculousness. But anyways, hi Demi. Oh, Demi's in Australia. Super cool. What's happening over here? Sorry, looking at my phone. Oh, thank you, Michelle, for the hee hee ha ha's. Thank you. Okay. Thanks for the Cash App. I love it. Thank you. Thanks for the support. I appreciate you. All right, let me go get some more sweetener. Oh, great. I'm wearing pants. Whew, I was like, oh, am I in my chonies? What's happening? Okay. We'll come back and we'll talk about it. Sorry for that sound. This is like an ASMR. Okay. Where are we at? Oh, we're almost there. Okay, let me queue up. Here we go. We're at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. You know, we like to get started at that time. And where are my notes? Get it queued up. Here we go. We are professional. Toe, right? And a couple seconds. Scroll down to episode 8. 4, 3, 2. Hey, everyone. I don't know. Remember the beginning of this thing. So what is it? Hey, guys, it's Wahima. But just call me Wah. Melanated. Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, Season 4, Episode 8, The Price of Joy, something or other, shibbity boo bops. You know what I'm saying? For every joy, there is a price. That's the name of the episode. So there's that. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Wah. I do recaps of relationship reality TV shows such as 90 Day Fiancé, Love After Lockup, Married at First Sight, Love is Blind, and any other content like that. So if you are all interested in that, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. We are a very intimate group here. So if you get spicy in the comments, I will block you. So just come here with lots of love and an open mind. So yes, I have a song. I'm going to find the lyrics and we're going to sing it because every time I forget, I have a song for Toe. What is it? What time is it? It's 8 a.m. in the morning. It's time to talk. 90 day. Or hashtag replay game. You made my day. There you go. I can't find the words. But you know, I wrote a song for y'all, so let's try to sing it as much as possible. I was better with it last season. You know what is happening? Discovery Plus has decided that they are not going to give us the episode in the morning as they used to. And so when they drop the episode at 8 in the morning, I can watch it and then I can dedicate a time to go live, which is what I did last season. But because this season they've decided that they're going to drop it 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I guess when it naturally comes on TV, it has ruined my life. So thank you so much. Right, let's get started. I want to first talk about Mahmoud and Nicole. At this point, I am just getting fatigued of them. I'm getting fatigued of them. So we've got them fighting in the streets, you know, just leave me alone, leave me the alone, leave me alone, leave me the alone. And he's like, baby, Nicole, what I do, baby, Nicole, what I do. And she's like, you know what you did, Mahmoud? Don't act like you don't know what you did. And then we got cut 5 hours later. And they are getting ready for the morning. She has just finished eating her breakfast. Full face. Lovely. I love it. I love a girl who puts on the full face and then eats the breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Me, I eat the breakfast, drink the coffee, put the face on before we leave the house. If we don't leave the house, no face. But you know, she's on TV, so we appreciate it. And he comes in, he's like, honey, you know, my uncle was right. I didn't teach you how to be good Muslim. I'm not ushering you into this community, into this culture, into this religion in a way that I should be doing. So come on, let me show you how to pray. So they go to pray. And she's like, oh my God, I've never heard him pray. That feels like a lie. Because he didn't pray at all during your beginning times. It's like they told us that she had already lived in Egypt at some point. But then they're trying to pretend like we don't remember that fact. How did they live before? Before they had their own apartment, they were a full married couple. He never prayed. Or what did she do? Just plug her ears while he was praying? So he's like, let me teach you. And he's saying things that, like, listen, I don't speak Arabic at all. But there are some words that I know. Allah, Kareem. I would be able to like learn the prayer too. Especially if it's in like a singy, like a song. Oh, love it. I learned very easily with singing. So she's like, yeah, if you had taught me, then maybe I'd be further along. I mean, I know it's his job to do so, but I'm like, you could have tried as well, Also, she's wearing this grandma outfit, which I think is so hilarious on her. I love that when she's wearing things that she doesn't like, she kind of hunches her shoulders over as though it's heavy. It's like, girl, it's not heavy. Like she's so unhappy to be wearing this. At this point, y'all, I truly feel like this girl is disrespectful. And that's the part that bothers me, is that it's okay if you don't want to do something, but you behaving in a way that is disrespectful bothers me, because as an American, I think, and maybe the Canadians can tell too, or the Westerners in general, I feel, and y'all tell me if you agree, that she is at every turn looking at the camera, like assiding to the camera when something weird happens. And those weird things are simply like wearing a hijab, deference to your husband. She went to another part of the world where male and female gender roles and traditions are strong. I mean, it is built into the very fabric of the society and the religion. Women hang out with women and men hang out with men. And she's over here judging it in a way that I find to be stupid. Don't go over to them people's houses and try to bring the American audience in and be like, it's not right. No, it's right for them. It works. That's the way it works. That's the way society is. And fine. It is fine. And if I choose to marry a man in that because I am in love, then I will adopt that as well. 100%. Now, in my own house, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But when I'm in the streets, hijab, only hanging out with women, no teas, no hookah, none of that. So a lot of people still have that mentality here, especially with social media. I don't know what you mean. So if you can explain that. People still have that mentality here, but we here judge it and think of it in such a different way than I think. Like I said, so certain pockets of religion and certain communities here in the U.S. still believe that, yes, but it's not built into the fabric the way it is here. I mean, the way it is there. Men hang out with men, and that's what he said. Like, I'm talking from his perspective. He said men hang out with men. Like, and when he said that, I completely understood. So it just makes me feel like she is just trying to like not tongue in cheek, but she's trying to like get the American audience on her side by behaving like, see, isn't this weird? See, isn't this weird? And that's what I don't like, because I don't think it's weird. I think it's normal for the region. It's normal for his culture. It's normal for whatever. Oh, okay, yes. I mean, judging women based on their clothes. Yeah, it happens here, but we're getting better about it. We're getting better, way better about it, I think. Um, ooh, that's it. That's it. Okay. So anyways, she and him decide that they're going to go swimming, and she has to wear this outfit for the swim. And I feel like I've seen those outfits before, but I've seen better fitting ones or better looking ones. Like that pink stripe throughout it was just like, why'd you pick the worst one? You know, like I was like, why do you look like a scuba diver? Why'd you pick this one? But anyways, so they're talking about it, and she's like, I don't know, they're playing some scene. I don't know what's happening. But all of a sudden she asks him, like, do I wear anything underneath here? And he gets mad. And I don't know if he's mad because he's embarrassed that she would ask him something like that, inappropriate in front of these men, like ask about or talk about underwear in front of, I would assume, men. I mean, listen, don't let me be sexist. The Cameron women could definitely be women. Or is he upset because they've already had this conversation and he doesn't want to have it again? Or is he upset because he's like offended that she would assume that he would know what women put under their undergarments, like underclothes? Because here's my thought. My thought is maybe Mahmoud was a virgin when they first got married. And also, if he says men and women don't hang out, so maybe he doesn't have any female friends. And I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't think he has any sisters. So he may not know. So maybe he's offended that she would assume that he would know about ladies' garments. So, which it, if my husband got mad when if I asked him about something like that, I would realize at that point that I need a lady friend. Like, so, or I go ask his mother. I don't know if his mother knows. I don't know. But anyways, I'm thinking that there must be some kind of undergarment underneath it because it wasn't made out of the kind of material. And like, you have to wear some kind of bra or the girls would just be loosey goosey, right? Anyways, so he gets upset. He walks away into the kitchen and he does the thing that I, as a viewer, don't like. And this is kind of where I turned off Mahmoud for me personally, because I don't like when people pretend like nothing is wrong. Say what the issue is. And maybe it is because the cameras are there and he doesn't understand what a reality TV is. But like, he needs to say what the issue is. The issue is that she asked him an inappropriate question in front of people or whatever it was. And he pretends like nothing is wrong. And then they go to the swimming pool, and it's because I guess she loves swimming. She refuses to wear the head part of it because she's already refused to wear a hijab, which again is such a you know what it is? I am not in love with my hair. I love braids. I love trying to do different things with my hair, but my hair is actually thinning and like the saddest thing in my life. So like I've cut it off, right? I've cut it off. So, but I'm not tied to it. And maybe she's tied to her hair, its color, because when they met the color of her hair was red. So maybe that's the way she expresses herself. And that's probably why she's not going to wear the hijab. And I thought the same thing, but I think that he is of a I think there's a spectrum when it comes to modest. And I think that Shida is on the more liberal side of the modest spectrum, because I believe that when I see his mother, Mahmoud's mother, she's wearing, you know what? I gotta look it up because I know the name. There's hijab is a very specific part of it. It's just the headpiece. There's some women who wear a full like thing and it starts with an N. Types of if you search types of hijabs, it should come up and then it'll give you like a little, what types of hijabs are there? Okay. And then, okay. So, oh, there's a little picture here that says what it is. Cute. I wonder if I should take the picture of it. Okay. So, niqab. There's the hijab. There's the shaila. There's the hijab amira. There's the kihmar. There's the chador. Yeah. So hijab is it's this part and it drapes here. And usually they have something underneath it that's close to the skin so that no hair shows. And then you've got a niqab, which is a veil that covers showing the face and the eyes only. So it comes here and it goes here and it goes down. And then you've got the burqa, which is like full face and body covering, mainly associated with Afghanistan, but that's where it's the netting. You can't even see the eyes. Then you've got the chador. Why won't this give me the full thing? Is this a better representation of it? Okay, I'm going to take a picture of this and I'm going to send it to you guys. I think I'm talking about the chador. That's what the mother wears. Because I think us in the Western world think of it as a certain way. And I want us to be a little bit more educated in this moment. And by us, I mean me. My internet's going to go weird for a while. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? So I think the folks that wear the chador aren't interested in Shida situation. I think Shida wears what I recall is maybe something between a hijab and an al-amira. Yes. So does that kind of help break down like what I'm talking about? So for me, in my entire life, everything from the niqab, the hijab, the shaila, the al-amira, and the kihmar was the same thing. And I think that the chador is what Mahmoud wants her to wear. So I thought the same thing, Anissa. I thought the same thing. I said, why can't she just dress like Shida? But I think Shida is dressed more liberal. So yes. Where I work, the women wear the chador. And there's some women who look like they have the niqab on. However, it's like a mixture between the kimar and a long flowy piece that's put over it, or the chador. But basically, I don't see any outlines of bodies. Like I see like the neck is covered. So anyways, yeah. Like I had to look this up because I was like, what are people wearing? Like, what is the difference, you know? And I just wanted to learn. So, anyways, this is what it is. Like, so the woman who's just wearing the hijab, she's pretty liberal because it can go as conservative as the burqa and the chador. All right, guys, I'm glad that you were able to learn that. But anywho, I spent a lot of time talking about them. Basically, they get into a fight, and we don't know why because it happens off camera. And she's walking away from him. He grabs her arm, and that's where I'm like, strike two. Strike two. Because he feels it's okay for him to grab her arm, but when she like puts her hand on him to push him off of her, he then feels the utmost disrespect. And I lost every single bit of respect for him in that moment. I understand the frustration. I understand that he's trying to like tame her. He didn't expect her to fight him the way she does because she made a promise that she would live in the way that he wanted her to. And she makes a comment saying that he thinks that he can tell her what to do when she's been single for 10 years and he's 9 years younger than her. And I felt her in that moment because that would be me. Fully, if I went somewhere and some man made me feel the way that no man has ever made me feel, and that's exactly what she said in the like episode 1 or 2, I could easily see myself getting caught up in something like that for sure. And then, but however, I think that I would have the most respect for him to truly get out of the relationship once I realized that this wasn't going to make me happy. I would have to get out of it. Because maybe Mahmoud doesn't make her feel taken care of enough for her anxieties to subside. Because honestly, living in the mom's house in that small ass apartment wouldn't have been for me. So I'm like, if you can't afford for us to live on our own, I get culturally living with your family is what you do. But what I'm saying is just from my American aesthetic and what I'd be willing to give up and what I would have to get in return is a man who fully takes care of me, girl. I mean, I want for nothing. Give me my Amex and I want to go shopping. I would have to marry a rich man. I could not fall in love with somebody who was just like regular degular and just like live a regular life the way she is saying she could. No, I would have had to marry I would have had to I would have had to marry a very wealthy Saudi man for me to give up that. I'm going to require gold. Okay. I require luxury trips. I will need a maid. But then I would give it up. So unfortunately, I just want her to do what's right for herself and stop stringing him and herself along. It just feels at this point like she's just making fun of him. Okay. She's like, I need him to compromise a little. And I'm like, girl, he is compromised enough in his mind. He feels like he has compromised. Yep, I agree too. But it's because I think he's not expecting someone to push back. He has a very specific idea of what an Egyptian woman is. But the thing is, though, he's ignorant. I think he's honestly ignorant. I don't think that he understands that not every Egyptian woman is the ideal that he has in his mind. He makes it seem like Egyptian women are just like docile and like, I don't know, like Egyptian woman wouldn't do this. It's too blanket of a statement. And when she says that she's an American, she's like, he judges me because I'm American. And I'm like, no, but you're a very specific type of American. Like, you don't get to represent America. Like there is a swath of people in this country. I think in general, you know what I'm saying. There is a mindset, there is an American mindset that puts us at the center of everything. And I think that's very American, right? But I wouldn't necessarily say that Nicole represents all American women. And I wouldn't necessarily say that Mahmoud's idea of what an Egyptian woman is represents every single Egyptian woman. So when these two are making these broad statements, I don't like it because I'm like, you shouldn't say that. You should say more specifically, like he doesn't love my free thinking or my fashion sense or something. And he should say, a woman that I would want to marry wouldn't fight me in the streets. Because he doesn't know. He doesn't know what happens between couples in their own homes, right? Okay, so let's move on. The next thing, the next couple that I want to talk about is Chris and Jamie, because I have a sneaky suspicion that Chris is unhappy. I mean, they like this is my 5th day in Colombia and it's so great. Like, girl, she's not happy. I feel like I feel like Chris is doing the exact same thing that Nicole is doing. You've gone to a country and maybe it's even worse with Chris because she's never left the country, but I'm pretty sure that Chris is looking at every single thing that's different and being like, well, America's better. America's better. Things are better in America. Things are so much better. You know, which is not the way to look at it. Just things are different. I'm used to something else. And I think I like the thing I'm used to more so than the thing I'm not used to. My love isn't strong enough for me to stay here where there's no, I don't know, whatever the thing is that she's seeing that's difference. So Jamie walks into the room and she's like, hi, little sick. Hi, my little sick. And I'm like, that doesn't translate well. Is it supposed to be like enfermita? Like enfermitita? Like, what is it supposed to be? Hi, my little sick. So then she gives her a buñuelo, which looks delicious. And again, Chris is doing that thing where she's like, well, it looks like a donut. Tastes like one too. And she's like, well, guess what? It's not a donut. It has queso in it, or it has cheese. So like we have that little battle. And Today is their 1-year anniversary. When she said 1-year anniversary, I said 1-year anniversary in which, like, for a month of that you ignored her. She went and started dating somebody from Texas. Like, you guys are getting married after knowing each other for 1 year, and this whole thing seems really foolhardy. And they wouldn't be the only couple to rush into things after a year, but usually the foreigner comes to the US when they do something like that after a year. So now it's just so weird to have it be the other way, that she's like fully like, I'm moving to Colombia. I honestly, here you guys, this is where I call fraud. I don't think Chris ever really thought she was moving to Colombia. How does a sick woman from Alabama with 2 kids, property, a vintage motorcycle, and all other kinds of stuff, just make a decision to not only leave the country for the first time at 43 or whatever, 40, but move? I don't think that Chris initially was gonna move, because I'm trying to think, like, what kind of bags. She had a lot of items, but she didn't have everything. I think maybe she thought she would live for like 6 months or however long her visa would allow, and then she would come home. I don't think that this woman thought she was gonna move there, but I mean, I guess I did get an apartment, but we don't know. We don't know if that apartment is month to month. We don't know. I just don't believe that she was, like, gonna move there for real, for real. Hi, Lily. Um, so anyways, she, wants to propose again, so they're gonna go glamping, and she has somehow reached out. I don't know, in Spanish, in English. I want to call that Colombian glamping place and be like, do you speak English? Because I know that Chris doesn't speak Spanish. So she got them to work with her to put roses in the yurt or their like bubble camping thing. And let me tell you, do they have that in the States? Because I want to go glamping. Except for I thought there would be more like rosé and like stringed lights, you know what I'm saying? But that, I mean, to wake up, to like go to sleep with seeing the stars, makes me so happy. So she goes and they get to the glamping place, and she sets up the mood. She writes "Marry Me" in English on the bed, and she's like, I don't even know if Jamie can read it. Like, and I thought to myself, well, I don't think that you should be marrying somebody if you don't know if they know how to read or write in either language. Jamie, to me, I feel like Jamie took lessons in English. I don't think she's somebody who just learned English from like working at a touristy place or from watching TV, because the way she says certain things like leads me to believe that she has read things. You know how when somebody says something wrong in English, and you're like, oh, you said it the way you read it. Like, that's what I was getting from her. So I'm like, how do you not know that though? Like, that's the first thing I would bloody ask somebody. I'd be like, oh, you speak English. I'm like, do you write English too? Like, how'd you learn English? If they're like, oh, I just learned it, then I'd be like, okay. Do you write English too? Oh, not very well, but I did take class. Like, I would ask. So I'm like, how well do you guys know each other? So anyway, she can read it. Surprise, surprise. She comes in, she sees it, they cry and they hug. Chris is wearing the worst outfit I have ever seen. I just can't. I just can't. Hi, Isabelle. I cannot, you guys. She was wearing like some kind of red bell sleeved shirt with like some kind of white crocheted or off-white crocheted netting situation over it. Oh. And then she had her hair in the tightest ponytail with like a headband on it. The headband was completely unnecessary. If your hair is in a ponytail, I mean, I feel like that's a little bit of like not a country. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna say something, it's not right. So correct me if I'm wrong, Brits. You might be asleep already. But it was giving like equestrian or like private school, hair slicked back in a pony with like a headband on. Like I know some girlies do it sometimes, but not a 40-year-old woman. What? The woman dresses like she is just like, I want to wear everything that makes me feel witchy and comfortable. And I'm just like, then talk to Debbie because Debbie knows how to dress witchy and comfortable. Let's move on. So we've got Debs. Oh, Shama. So it's the next morning. I didn't talk to you guys about this because obviously I forgot last episode. But you guys, Osama over here acting just brand new, and I didn't like this shit at all. So Debbie has touched down in Morocco and she gets off of the plane and she's like looking left and right. And she's like, "Where's Osama?" And she goes outside and she sees him and she's like, "There's Osama. He's so handsome." So she's like, "Hey, Osama." And she goes up to him. He gives her a flower and they get into the van and they go to the part of, I think, Riyash. They go to the hotel and it's beautiful. Okay, it is beautiful. You hear me? It's beautiful. It is very low key. They walk down this beautiful alley that is cobblestoned and very like old schooly, like it's giving like whatever it looked like during the time of Casablanca, the movie. And I mean, just cute. And she's like, "Oh, I just feel very free here." And it's like she says something in French, either "c'est la vie" or like "que sera sera," and I just don't know which one she said, but she said something, right? And she's like, "It just makes me feel very like, whatever she said in French." And then he's like, "Yes, me and Debbie, I don't care what anyone says. I love Debbie." So they go inside and they have to get separate rooms because of culturally, men and women can't sleep in the same room. And she takes them to this courtyard and it's like got a tree, it's got seating, it's just like open air, and then each door is a room. So it's like it makes me think that it's like a circular hotel, which I was like, sign me up. And so it's like maybe the guests when they wake up, they come out, they have their coffee in the center. Oh, anyways, so she goes into her room, she changes, she comes out wearing the most giant of lion necklaces on. I mean, she fully put Mufasa's face on her chest. And then she comes out and she's like, "Hi, Osama." And Osama comes down, they sit, and he's like, "Okay, Debbie, so I think you stay here and then we go to the farm to live at the farm for a little bit because I want my mom to show you how to be a good Moroccan woman." Oh, I forgot about the car ride conversation. So he tells her that he wants her to be a good Moroccan woman, and that includes cooking and washing his clothes. Again, another region and part of the world in which these men blatantly feel like they can just say this. Now, it happens here. It does. However, at least here there is another through line where men understand that there is a certain group of women who will not do that. I think in Osama's world, he's like, I still deserve a good Moroccan woman, even though I ain't shit, even though I don't have a job and I live with my mom and father. Now, that's not anything that's crazy because I think most people in other parts of the world still live with their parents and their wives come and live with them. So living with their parents isn't a negative the way it is in the States. So let me say that. I do understand that. But Osama's not making no money. He says he doesn't have a job. So why do you think that you deserve a good Moroccan woman? Yeah, you deserve, yes, someone who loves you and someone who's good. But as far as like the divvying up of the like things, the divvying up of the actions or whatever, I'm just like, you go make that money. I wash your clothes. You don't make money, you wash your clothes. I wash my clothes. You don't make money, you cook. Sometimes I cook sometimes. I don't know. To me, that's the fair trade. That's the fair trade. So anyways, he tells her he wants her to do that he wants her to, and she's like, "Well, Osama, we can still have our takeout, right? And our wine." And in that moment, I understood the simple pleasures of Debbie. Because how keyed in was I when she said, we could still have our takeout and our wine. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm Debbie. Because guess what I love is takeout and wine. I mean, doesn't it feel so good on a Friday night to just like order food and just crack open a bottle and just like have a good time by yourself? God. Or with a friend, but like, you know, me, solo dolo. So I understood her in that moment. And he's like, no, we can't have no wine in my parents' home. And she's like, we can't sneak it. And he's like, no, that's very disrespectful. And she's like, oh, I don't want to be disrespectful. And so then I was like, girl, you can't sneak wine. First of all, you're 67 and you want to sneak? Oh, no, I'm telling you, 40, I don't want to sneak. 40, I want to be in the streets like la, 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 la. So like, I don't want to sneak at 67. Like, I just, yeah, on a random Tuesday. We understood her so much in that moment. I feel like it was just like every woman who like loves to have takeout and some wine was like, yes. And the way she says it is so dreamy too. It's like, oh, Shama, we can just sit by the fire and drink some wine. And I just want to drink just thinking about it. Like, you know, indeed, Glinda, indeed. Cheers. So they get to, oh, so that was the car ride. Anyways, so we're in there. Now we're jumping back. We're jumping back to them being in the like common space of the hotel at night. She's dressed up. She has Mufasa on her chest. Okay, we're back there. And I'm pretty sure has a fedora on, but I can't recall. He tells her that he wants her to stay there for a couple months and then go back home. And then they'll decide what to do. And she's like, what? Osama, I moved here. And he's like, yes, but we need time to get to know each other. And she's like, well, we've been doing it for 3 years. And he says, yeah, 3 years online, but not in reality. And she's like, Osama, don't sit up here and say that to me. You knew. You should have told me that you weren't ready for me to move here. I packed up everything. My family, told my kids goodbye. And he's like, oh, maybe you misunderstood. And she's like, I didn't misunderstand, Osama. I don't like this. I don't know who this Osama is, but I don't like him. And I love that she was so honest with him. I love that she was like, no, there's not a mistake. Don't sit up here and act like that's not what happened, like I'm a crazy person. Because the last time I was here, you basically told me you were ready to get married then. And all of a sudden you're singing a different tune. You should have been honest with me. And so she gets upset and she walks away. And I guess he didn't expect her to get upset, or maybe he didn't expect to feel bad. And so he then the next day like apologizes and tells her that it was a translation misunderstanding. And she's like, I don't think that's so, Osama. And we're all like, yeah, Osama, you was a liar. You was a lying ass man, Osama. Don't come over here acting like it. What did she say? I have words, I'm trying to think. I don't know who this Osama, I don't know what Osama this is, but I don't like it. Also, that episode, he like is too tall for the door frame and he like hits his head on it on going out. And she's like, he got clothesline, man. It was hilarious. A little sneaky. Anyways, so in this episode, he's trying to mend the wounds and she's kind of not having it. And they go out for the beach and she's like, okay, well, I guess maybe it's okay. Let's go to the beach. So they go to the beach and this woman comes to this Moroccan soil and is like, I claim this land for Debbie. This is Debbie's beach. And we're all like, that's definitely Morocco beach. Like, that's definitely just like Northern Africa. Like, that is that whatever sea that is. I don't know. And so they sit down And this woman sees a camel, and y'all, is a camel and a horse. And in that moment, we realize as an audience that Debbie is a woman who's probably was very sheltered. And not sheltered, but very like, she probably didn't, I don't know, maybe she did travel. Maybe this is just the excitement of a person who gets to see something just so different. She jumps up and she starts to scream. She's like, "Hey, hey, it's a camel! It's a camel!" And she like flags this camel down and this man down. And this woman kikis and like giggles as they get on the camel. Oh, God, I'm gonna tell you right now, I would like to ride a camel one day, and I think I will if I get to all the countries that I want to go to. But I'm gonna be terrified because she's holding on to Osama, and I'm like, "What are you holding on to? Just like two femurs and a rib? That boy is skinny." And she's like, "Oh, I'm holding on. Oh, Shama." She's like screaming as the camel gets up. And I was just like, "Oh my God." I was terrified for her. I mean, she hasn't even fallen off the donkey yet. You know what I'm saying? Because remember that? We haven't seen that yet. And so, yeah, it was just such a magical moment. And then afterwards, she's like, "Oh, Shama, I know people stare at us. Are you embarrassed of me, Oshama? I don't want you to be embarrassed." And he's like, "No, Debbie, I don't care about those people." And I'm like, "Yeah, because he doesn't have any friends anyway. That person doesn't care what anyone else thinks about. He's already that ship has sailed already." Okay, let's move on. Isabelle and Gabe. Whew. It's awkward while Gabe and Isabelle talk about telling her family they've gone to St. Carmen. Last episode, he told his friend Trey that he was trans, and Trey had a good reaction on TV. It was none of this like machismo nonsense, so that was nice. We find out that Isabelle doesn't like Trey, and Trey is hoping for the best when he tells his parents-in-law that he's trans. Now, in this new episode, Gabe eventually tells them using the translator app. They're scared. They go horseback riding prior to. It's a good day. He says that he's been trans for 10 years. I didn't realize that he'd been trans for so long, or he had transitioned so long ago. So I was like, okay, like that was just a little bit of information. And I was like, cool. Brave person, that Gabe, because I was having all the jitters and the shakes. Of course, it's a cliffhanger, so we don't know what happens. We don't know if the dad freaks out. We just know that the dad says, "Tell me everything from the beginning, the entire story." So there we go. Let's move on. Ooh, Twitter thinks that Trey is a passport bro. What do y'all think? Well, I mean, what's her face says that he's a womanizer. So don't passport bros like have only one woman? I don't know. I don't know what it is. Oh, passport bro is I don't know if this is only black men who do this, but it's definitely American men who go to either the DR, Colombia, some country, it could even be the Philippines, and most people on 90 Day Fiancé are passport bros. It's where they just they get a passport fully with the intent of going to another country where the dollar can be stretched, the US dollar can be stretched, and they just like show these women such a great time. Sometimes they maybe not promise sex or promise something, and then don't marry them or do marry them and bring them back to the US. But it's just basically going abroad to find women to date. So that's what a passport bro is. So anyways, that's what happens. Moving on. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you guys, Debbie has the most fabulous fan. It's Peacock Feather Fan. The most fabulous fan. Don't we all want one? I want one. Oh my God, it's 8:30 already? What time did I start this? Did I start at 7:45? Yeah. Like, I gotta go to work. Okay. Let's move on. Rishi and Jen. Oh my god, I didn't talk to you guys about last episode, Rishi and Jen. One passport bro got stuck in the DR because he didn't have enough money to get home. Yeah. Yep. I saw that. So the passport bro, he like went there. I guess he was whining and dining. I don't know. And he his some delayed happened with his flight or something. And he didn't have enough. He was like, "Hey, here's my Cash App. Can you guys like send me some money so that I can get home?" And I was like, "See, this is why you don't need to be overseas trying to like do stuff. You can't get yourself home. Like you were just in the DR. It's not like you were like stuck in China or stuck in on the continent. Like DR is not far from the US. It's one flight." So it's like weird. What do you mean you can't get home? I mean, am I just I'm almost like, I mean, I'm not saying I have all the money, but I have all the credit. You know what I'm saying? I give me a little credit and then it's like pay that little card down, you know? It's so interesting that sometimes I feel better using a credit card knowing that I'm just gonna pay it back than like using my actual cash. It's like a deferred payment plan, like a deferred thing. I'm like, oh, I don't want to give him 600 of my dollars. I'll just put it on a card and I'll just pay it later. And it feels better to pay a $600 bill than to pay for a $600 flight. I don't know if that makes any sense. It makes sense to me. Anyways, so let's move on. Rishi and Jen. Okay, so one, Jen is dumb. Jen has gotten this man to promise that he is going to move out of his parents' house when they get together. And he is like, he doesn't want the words to pass his lips. He's like, I promise. And she's like, that's the thing I need. Is like, if we get married, I cannot live in your familial home. And I just want that to be the first thing that anyone says to any man who's used to living with his family is that I can't live here, because that's a hard thing to say. Like, I don't know what the rent situation is. Like, I don't know how people pay rent in other countries, right? So like, what if Rishi is going from not having to pay rent to pay rent to support her? So then it's like all the money that he would use to support his family, he now has to put into the rent, you know? So she's asking a lot financially of him, unless she's planning on paying the rent and the house bills, so he can continue to support his family financially in the way he's used to. We don't know that, but maybe that's what the plan is. Okay, next. Then she goes to immigration lawyer to see like what is, because she thought that she got the same kind of visa as Jenny from Jenny and Submit. Because remember, Jenny wanted to like leave the country for a little bit and then come back in. Remember, they were thinking of going to like Bangladesh or something. And so then she was like, okay, where can I go? What can I do? And that person was like, no, you can't actually, if you go home, you can't come back. Because you see right here, it says a 30-day visa. It says 30 days right here. And she was like, what? I didn't read the fine print of my visa. I feel really dumb. And he's like, yeah, so your best bet is to go home. She's like, but I think I'm going to get married. And he's like, when? She's like, I don't know. And he's like, go home. He's like, this is weird American behavior. So she gets punked that way. And then she goes and has to tell Rishi about her dumb antics, while all the traffic of Jaipur is just like blowing behind them, just like meh, meh. She's trying to explain to this man while getting a cup of chai that I can't stay. And he starts to cry. So then fast forward to this episode. They leave each other. He proposes before she leaves to say we're going to talk every day, but I'm like, they're not going to talk every day. But that's what he says. And so she goes home and to Oklahoma. She has a kiki with her sister-in-law as they like drive from the airport. She gets to the house. She has to tell her mother and her brother all that happened, about the wife that they were looking for him for, about the promises and the things that were different when she got there. And they're like skeptical of Rishi all over again. So y'all, it's rough. It's rough. Rough for her. Yeah, that's it. What else? Who else did we miss? That's it. We got to everybody. Yay. What are you guys saying? Ciao, how late am I? Oh, I'm done. I'm done. I am done. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm gonna put right now where you can. We started at 6:37 because I messed up my intro. It's hard because I do docu-sweeties a lot, and the docu-sweeties intro is "Hey everyone, I'm Wah," and if I like mess that up, Chris gets like upset, and she's like, "Oh, you did it wrong," and I'm like, "Okay, girl." So when I come to this one, my first thought is, "Hi everyone, I'm Wah," but that's not it. It's like, "Hi everyone." It's like, "Hey guys," you know. So hi everyone, and then hey guys. So, Glinda, thank you so much for the Cash App. I appreciate it for the hee hee ha ha's. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, I guess I didn't put it down here. If you guys would like to tip your girl, if you had all got the hee hee ha ha's while watching this, or if you learned something as we discovered the many different ways one can wear modest garments. And I'll put that picture up for those of you who came in late, just so that you know. This is what we learned today. Okay. These are the different types of modest wear. So when talking about Mahmoud and Nicole, we were trying to discover like what her options are. And it looks like her mother-in-law wears a chador. Okay. People often get confused with a chador and a burqa. So the burqa covers everything. I mean, you could only see the net through the eyes, and I think usually the burqas are like a dark color. I've seen them in black and I've seen them in blue. Whereas you could have a chador and that could be print, that could be solid, that could be a lot of things, you know. But it also depends on where you are, right? I think some African nations will have their hijabs or in any of their coverings be colorful, but then some other countries their hijabs or their covering will just be black. So it really just depends on where you're from, right? Hijab is the one in the upper right hand corner, and or maybe I don't know if that's right hand for you. It's right hand for me, but that is the simplest form. You know, think about the times you've seen the al amir. Think about the times you've seen the kihmar. Think about the times that you've seen the shaila. You know. Anyways, oop, wrong couple. You want to talk about them? Have you guys watched Brother Husband? Watch it. I started watching it last night, but then I got sleepy. Oh, thanks, Lily. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Brenda B. Let's look at it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, great. Brother Husband, y'all. Brother Husband. I think I'm gonna have a lot of opinions about it. It's low key though. I think I want to talk about the fact that they kind of they use camera shots and they use sound effects to get the audience to have an opinion about how the man feels. I've noticed that, especially with Elisa and Mike, they do that. Yeah, Kenya like is really doing it. I mean, Tiger really feels some kind of way. I feel like Tiger feels some kind of way. And then what's his face is 52 years old. What's that man's name? Her first husband? 52 years old. I said, well, if black don't crack, boy, the man with the braids, that said 52. And then you got Tiger coming in at 40, which is like Tiger has cracked. But and them contacts, child, them contacts. Let's look a picture. Let's look. I have their pictures. Oh no, I don't have a picture of Kenya. It's them. This man with the dreads, 52 years old. Okay. And this couple, y'all, Tell me why Vince. I mean, Vince is very handsome. He's handsome. Or Vincent. Vin is very handsome. I need a better picture of Kenya and her husbands. I don't like this picture. But anyways, we haven't met them yet. And we've met them. So their relationship is interesting. I can't believe there's only 4 couples though. That's weird to me. It's like not bad, but it's just like they couldn't find more men and women who do this. Oh, Carl is like, I'm here for the camera time. I heard allegedly Carl has a woman on the side. I thought so too. To me, I'm like, to me, what's happening is more so of polyamory. Like, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Because polyamory is where each person has multiple, not each, it doesn't have to always be that way. But usually it's like, I'm in a relationship with Joe, but I'm also in a relationship with Steve. But Joe is also in a relationship with Lisa. And maybe Steve's not in a relationship with anybody else, but he could if he wanted to be. Or he could date if he wanted to date. And then, but we all, maybe me, Steve, Joe live together. And Lisa comes over sometimes and we have like family day. Like perhaps we have kids. Like, you know, it's creating like a thing. And sometimes there's like kitchen sink where everybody comes together and sits. Like I have a friend, he has 3 partners, and I think 2 of the partners are together too. So he's with 2 women who are together, and he lives with one, and the other 2 women that he's with have their own homes. But he has kids with another woman. He has kids with one woman, 2. Then he has kids with the new woman, 1. And then when he got with that new woman, the new woman had a girlfriend already. And then him and the girlfriend just started to like create a relationship. So it was just kind of like they're all together. They're all like love each other as a family, and they're kitchen sink because they all know each other and they all hang out when it's appropriate. Sometimes you have it where it's not that way, where one partner doesn't know the other partner, or knows them, but they don't come to the house and chill. And what one couple wants, like this couple right here, he's perfectly willing to be a brother husband. Whereas Vincent is like okay with it. And when she wants another person, she's like, nah. He's like, Vincent's like, nah. The black guy, he's like, nah, I can't do that. No. And then in this one, Kenya was married to Carl for 26 years. She's been with Tiger for 10 years. So they have 3 kids together, her and Carl. And Tiger brought a son into the mix. Tiger's mother does not like Kenya and thinks that it's just like she's just some woman that's stepping out on her husband. Carl is very cute. So I can't imagine him just truly like being alone in his room. Am confusion. Yeah, so it just depends. Some of these people are polyandry and some of these people to me are polyamorous. So we're going to talk about it. I mean, and truthfully, I don't know anything about it. So we're just going to talk about it from like a I don't understand perspective. But you know what I want to do is kind of see if my friend will talk with me and he can explain it. That would be fun. All right, you guys, I got to go. I'll talk to you guys later. You have a fantastic week. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Watch it. Brother, Husband, Discovery, or TLC. We can talk about it.